All right, good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to St. Tammany Fire District 1, our press conference we have scheduled today to announce an awesome new program. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to our parish president, Ms. Pat Bristol.
Thank you very much, and good morning. I want to extend a very warm welcome to everyone here today, all of you invested in the creation of the program, Know Your Child. This is very exciting, and I am just thrilled to be here to help kick it off. As we all know, parenthood can be challenging, exhausting, exhilarating, rewarding, and usually all at the same time. As parents, we want our children to thrive at every age. However, in today's world, societal pulls, mounting peer pressure, and technological forces create a world where growing up is much harder than it used to be. Parents at times feel disconnected and out of touch with their children, especially during the teen years, and can miss signs that point to depression, suicide, drug or alcohol abuse, and other mental health and behavioral issues. Know Your Child is something every parent can add to their child-rearing arsenal. It can be a resource when you desperately need one, or an informational tool to prepare you for the teen years. I raised 5 children. To ask me anything about teen years, I can tell you. Or it can be an informational tool to in anticipation of what to look for and how to help your teen navigate through this exciting and unpredictable time in both their lives and yours. The Junior Auxiliary of Slidell, a ladies' service organization with a 50-year history of service in our community, is primarily focused on helping children. The Know Your Child program is a wonderful example of what happens when groups in the community from all different avenues work together to address an issue that is important to all of us. In this case, the well-being of our children. I would like to thank all of the agencies involved, particularly the St. Tammany Fire District number 1 and the Junior Auxiliary of Slidell, who worked in conjunction with the St. Tammany Parish Coroner, St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, NAMI St. Tammany, and Youth Service Bureau to create this awareness. I'd also like to recognize Loretta Duckett and Sharon Hewitt of the Junior Auxiliary of Slidell, who led the development of this program on behalf of Junior Auxiliary of Slidell. Now, I would like to ask Sharon, who's co-chair of Know Your Child, Junior Auxiliary of Slidell, to take the podium and give remarks. Thank you, Sharon, for letting me share this today.
Thank you very much. Loretta, you should be up here, my friend. Would you please like to come join us? Loretta has been working behind the scenes, and very much appreciate your leadership on this project as well. Thank you, President Brister, for joining us today and for adding your support to this important community program. Know Your Child is an education and awareness program for parents of teenagers to learn how to recognize the early warning signs of depression, suicide, drug and alcohol abuse, and other behavioral issues, and to be aware of the resources already available in our community. As parents, we all know how difficult it is sometimes to recognize and admit the difference between normal crazy teenager behavior and risky teenager behavior. We assume that our children will grow out of the stages that we find troubling, and we're hesitant to share our concerns about our teenagers with our friends. In the world of social media, we struggle to keep up with our teenagers with this rapidly changing technology, and sometimes have difficulty balancing our responsibilities to parent and protect them with their desires for more privacy and independence. Often the warning signs are there, but we just don't see them until it's too late. So our message to parents of teenagers is this. Parents, do you know your child? It's okay to ask. The goal of Know Your Child campaign is to get a brochure into the hands of every parent of a teenager in Eastern St. Tammany Parish. Although none of us ever think that tragedy will strike our families, and that these issues only affect other families, we know that this is not reality. It is our hope and prayer that the information on the Know Your Child brochure will help save lives by encouraging parents to be more aware and to proactively seek help early. We plan to be visible at community events, in the schools, and at civic club meetings, and appreciate any assistance the media and the community can provide to raise awareness of this new program. As President Brister mentioned, we have a 50-year history of serving our community with a focus on helping children in the Junior Auxiliary of Slidell, and we are proud to have led this effort. But we could not have done it without the many organizations that are represented here with me on stage and who lent their expertise, their passion, their resources to collaborate with us. So I'd like to introduce these organizations and their representatives to you now, if I may. As I mentioned, my co-chair in the audience, Ms. Loretta Duckett, co-chair of Know Your Child and Junior Auxiliary of Slidell. Chief Chris Kaufman, who you will hear from in a few minutes. He's the fire chief in Fire District 1. Dr. Charles Preston, the St. Tammany Parish Coroner, and two of his staff members, Dr. Balinder Mango. Balinder Mango. Sorry, I had it at the beginning. He's the deputy coroner in charge of mental health addiction. And Dr. Dave Morrell, who is the chief investigator.
No doctor, just Dave Morrell.
You just got a promotion. Ms. Cammie Proctor with the United Way. Ms. Sharon Hosh, the Senior Supervisor of Special Education in St. Tammany Parish Public Schools. Ms. Taffy Morrison, who is the Community Outreach Director for Slidell Memorial Hospital. Mr. Patrick Pillay, who made the grand entrance, the Program Director for the Youth Service Bureau. And Martha Benson with NAMI St. Tammany. And then I have Mary Dubasson from Greg Cromer's office, Representative Greg Cromer. So thank you all. Did I miss anyone?
Thank you guys all.
Super. All right. We have a couple of other ladies that worked with us on the committee I would like to recognize. They are sitting in the audience. Ms. Janelle Stein, the District Mental Health Provider Liaison with St. Tammany Parish Public Schools. And then three other Junior Auxiliary Slidell members, Ms. Katie Stevens, Ms. Jennifer Rice, and Ms. Michelle Roy. Now I'd like to introduce you to the person who first identified this need in our community and brought the idea forward. He's the passion behind Know Your Child. He is everywhere in the Slidell community. Our very own Chief Chris Kaufman.
Thank you to everyone that came out today. To get started, less than a year ago, the Junior Auxiliary contacted around 15 community leaders. They wanted each of us to propose a program or an idea that would not duplicate another program in our community. And after 26 years in public service, 12 years involved in the nonprofit work, I wanted to present a program that could have the most impact in our community. This is when I proposed an awareness campaign to JA for parents and guardians. I wanted this program to be an investment in our children and their future. Our Know Your Child campaign gives parents the edge or guidance to identify when their child is troubled or just not themselves. I ask these questions today. Is your child depressed? Is your child being bullied? Do you know your child's friends? In what age should your child have privacy? Is your child involved in drugs? Have you checked your child's cell phone, text messages? Parents, today we ask, do you know your child? It's okay to ask anything you want. Our children are our pride and joy. Let's stand up, communicate, and protect our children in this very, very fast society before it's too late. I'd like to take a minute to thank all of our committee members, the Junior Auxiliary, of Slidell for embracing this idea and making it a very important parent awareness campaign. I would like to now introduce one of our committee members, our coroner, Dr. Chuck Preston. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I too am going to thank all of you for coming out on this cold day to help us kick off this campaign. I want to particularly thank President Brister for coming, the busiest woman in St. Tammany Parish, and I truly think that she has been cloned because I see her in more than one place at exactly the same time. So I think there are really a dozen of Pat Brister working for the parish. You know, as the coroner and the chief physician of the parish, my job primarily focuses on tragedy, on people who are in the midst of a mental health crisis, or we are in the worst possible situation of zipping up a body bag. This was an opportunity to do something very proactive and very positive, and I have been very honored to be a part of this committee. This has been a brain trust of intellects that have had the singular focus of trying to arm parents with a tool to help their children navigate the minefield that it is now to grow up as a preteen or teen. Our goal has been to help them be aware of the dangers that exist and the temptations that the children face, and to encourage them to unzip their mouths and begin conversation between parents and children before they are in crisis, so that my office isn't intervening in commitment or the total tragedy of the loss of a child. I am happy to say that we do not see a high suicide rate among teens, but we are seeing children that are dying of unintentional drug abuse, and particularly concerning is the advent of synthetic drugs. This has become even more of an issue over the last several months. We've had a few in our office, and it's very, very important that parents are aware of what the children face and use the primary tool that we have, which is conversation, to try and recognize a child that is on the precipice of disaster and to intervene before disaster occurs. The Know Your Child campaign is just that. It's a campaign that we are kicking off with the primary tool, the pamphlet, but which will be followed up with public appearances and trying to delineate this information to parents throughout St. Tammany Parish so that we can prevent tragedy in the future. Our hope, as Chris alluded to, is that parents will learn the markers of distress so that they can find tools and resources to intervene before crisis ensues. The pamphlet gives resources that are there and help parents navigate the system to make these resources available for solutions again before tragedy occurs. I will wrap up by reinforcing the Know Your Child campaign is that, an ongoing campaign to educate parents and encourage conversation with our children to children so that families can proactively intervene at the earliest sign of distress before tragedy strikes. And with that, we'll open up the floor. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to field them, or one of these experts is bound to have an answer. So we'll be happy to take questions now.
How is the information going to be distributed to parents?
Sharon, you want to address this?
Yeah, the first thing we need to do is pass out the brochures, which I failed to do. You did get one, Bob. Mary, would y'all help pass out some of the brochures? We are Junior Auxiliary, as I think we mentioned earlier. Well, we have 50 members, and we are basically looking for opportunities to speak to groups in the community. We hope to have tables at community events where we could perhaps distribute information. We want to work with the school system to get brochures out to high school and junior high age students. We basically, anywhere there is a gathering of parents, look for a junior auxiliary table with Know Your Child. The other thing I'd like to say is that Junior Auxiliary is partnered with Slidell Memorial Hospital at an event this Saturday. It's from 1 to 5. We call it a Day for Girls' Health. It'll be held at the Slidell Memorial Hospital Founders Building. And it is targeted at teenage girls, and it's just a day full of health and nutrition and fun activities. While the girls are participating in some of those activities, we are going to capture their parents in a panel discussion where we will have several experts and representatives. We will have parents that are sharing some personal stories, and it'll be a great opportunity for us to get the message out this Saturday.
Sharon, if I could, we haven't talked about this, but certainly we have our community access channel that we will be more than happy to put programs up wherever you need them, however you need them. And our website, we will also use that to full extent to get this program going. So.
Thank you, that's wonderful. Yes, excuse me, we have a Facebook page, of course. We have a Facebook page, it's called Know Your Child. And it will be the landing page for all of the organizations that are represented here. So they will it's managed by Junior Auxiliary, but they have their links on our Facebook page, and they will be posting information about events and educational materials and information on that Facebook page. So check us out there. Any other questions?
You would say that even though some of the organizations up here are East Side based, this is a parish-wide effort?
It is primarily actually going to start on the east side. Junior Auxiliary is a Slidell-based organization, and so that we don't spread ourselves too thin, we do plan on starting our focus on the east side. But once we feel like we have, I always think big. My JA friends here are looking at me like, oh my gosh, what's she about to commit us to? We're going to start on the east side, but you know, if I was queen, I would say we will expand it throughout the rest of the parish.
I'm queen, I say yes.
Our queen says yes. Our president says yes.
And like many other programs, we hope other parishes will take this program, not reinvent the wheel, use the work that we've already put together and grow this program throughout the state of Louisiana and anywhere else it may want to take place, because why waste the resources? We already brought the right people to the table. In around 10 months, be able to put this program together. So the problems we talk about today are not just in St. Tammany, all across the world. So if this program can be picked up by anybody, we'd be glad to give them the footprint that brought us here today. So we'll bring it, Ashley, wherever anyone requested. And the JA won't have to go work it. We'll have other people we'll challenge to pick up the program. And the sky's the limit.
A man who thinks bigger than I do. Any other questions for anyone here? Awesome. Well, we appreciate you all coming. Everything that you can do to help us get the word out, it would be much appreciated. And we're just very excited. Thank y'all very much for coming.
Thank you.